Okay, YouTube, the 50th take for the 50th daggone time. It's my lighter. What's going on, y'all? Once again, it's your girl Trey Manifest. Excuse me while I light my sage and get my energies right in this room. What's going on, y'all? So, today's video is going to be about altars. So, let's get into it. So, what is an altar? If you are familiar with religion, things of that sort, Christianity, Catholicism, you know what altars are used for or what they are. It's basically a sacred space or a set aside space that that's sacred and that you go to. You may go to it to meditate, to pray. You can leave offerings on your altar. What else? Some people sacrifice on their altar. That ain't my thing. I ain't doing no sacrifices. But yeah, there are different types of altars. You have your general altar. That's where you do all your spell work, your energy work, working with energies and whatever. You have your ancestor altar. Your ancestor altar is what you use to honor your ancestors. That's actually my favorite kind of altar. It's the one that I use. I actually incorporate probably a couple different types of altars in my one altar. You have your elemental altar. Your elemental altars are your altars for what it sounds like, each of the different elements. So you have one altar for your earth, one altar for your air, one altar for your fire, so on and so forth. Then you have your spirit guide altar. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's an altar that's set aside for your spirit guides. So you could work with different spirit guides, things like that. There are also deity altars where you can have an altar set up to for a specific deity if you're into that type of stuff. Me, I'm not. I mean, I touched on it a little bit, but I mean, I like my ancestor altar. I like working with my ancestors. You have your special cases altar. That's your altar for specific, I would say, specific work or like specific spells or, you know, specific work that you want to do. Like, for instance, if you were trying to attract your soulmate or cast a spell on your soulmate, you would have your altar set up specifically for that. Also, along with the ancestor altar, there is a recently deceased altar. And that's where, like, if somebody died today, yesterday, a couple days ago, you would set up an altar, probably with a candle to help their, soul transition, and with the picture of that person or something that they like. And you would, have that altar set up for them. It's pretty much temporary. That type of altar is temporary. You would take it down after a few days or, whatever you feel. You always go with what you feel. So here, I know y'all see all this stuff. Here, all the things that I use for my altar, I did have my altar set up, but I do take my altar down and I clean it, I cleanse it, get my sage out, using my little sage, cleanse it, I cleanse all my stones, everything that I put on my altar. That's, like I said, sage everything. So you want to cleanse any and everything before you put it on your altar. Like I said, it's a sacred space. So you know how in church you can't go on the altar with pants on? Well, females can't. Like, it's like you have to be that strict with your altar. I'm not going to show my altar because everybody's not supposed to see your altar. Like I said, it's supposed to be personal and sacred. So it's like your underwear. It's like your private parts. Like, you don't want everybody to... I mean, we do have thoughts out here showing stuff like that. Just like you have people on YouTube showing their altar. I mean, I don't condone it. To each his own. I don't judge, but that's just not my thing. I'll just show you the stuff that I use and put on my altar. So, like I said, an ancestor altar is one of the things that I incorporate on my altar. So I have things like my obituaries from different ancestors on there. Like this right here. This was my great-grandmother's necklace. So I keep it on my altar. I used to wear it, but since I started my altar, I keep it on my altar. So that's one of the things I use for my altar. My great-grandmother, she used to smoke, so sometimes I'll leave a loose one, a cigarette on my altar. I'll go across the street, buy a loose one. I don't smoke cigarettes. But and that'll be on my altar. What else? You want to make sure you have all elements on your altar when you're doing work. So earth would be my stones. My stones. Then air, I burn incense, and incense represent air. So, you know, I have my incense holder. You can get these from anywhere. I got this from Walmart. I like it. It's pretty cool because it has stars. I like stars and stuff because I like outer space stuff. Like I said, air, you can have incense. So, I mean, I keep my incense on my altar. This is like loose incense that you use with like charcoal. I don't currently have any charcoal, so I just leave this sitting on my altar. It's frankincense and myrrh. I really like the way it smells. It's the best. For water, I keep my glass filled with water. I refresh it. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and say that I keep it refreshed every day with water, but I change it pretty often for my ancestors. Keep my water on it. They might need a little bit of water. They love it because it like, you would think like it would just stay there, but no, it goes down. Like they be drinking it or something. So I mean, sometimes I'll, like for my great grandmother's birthday, I put a little shoddy on my altar along with a loose one. I take care of my ancestors. You gotta take care of them. This right here is an altar cloth. Don't mind the wax. I had a freak accident where one of my candles exploded and all the wax, well, some of the wax got on it. So, but yeah, this is, if you guys aren't familiar with this, this is the Flower of Life pattern, sacred geometry. You can see I got incense stuff and everything on here, wax. But I love this thing. I love the way it looks. You can also use this for crystal gridding, and I do grid on my altar, so that's why it's perfect that I use this for my altar cloth. What else do I put on my altar? I got all this stuff here. This is my salt rock, pink salt rock candle holder. It's not a lamp. I mean, I guess technically it's a lamp if it still holds a light. It's just a candle. So I put one of these in there. I sage it first, light it, put it in here. It goes inside there, like that. Put it on my altar, and it's amazing. I love the energies that come from it, the negative ions, it neutralizes and stuff like that. So, yes, it is real salt. Don't ask me how I know this. I did lick it once. I had to see, like, I'm curious. Like, so, yeah, there's that. What else? This is another thing that you can use to clean anything. Clean the stuff that you put on your altar. Just wipe it down with some of this. You can also use this on yourself. It's actually a cologne. It's called Florida Water. They have this at your local Botanica. They have it in Walmart now, and I'm like, when did they start using this in Walmart? Like, but it's in a hair aisle. Well, in the Walmart around here, it's in a hair aisle. I don't know why, but whatever. But this is really good. Keep this around. Like I said, you know, I keep my crystals, my pointed crystal quartz. Keep that on my altar when I'm doing my work. I keep my charging ball on my altar. I also keep my tarot cards on my altar and work with my energies. I do got to start getting back on doing my tarot card videos. I'll get back on that soon, but I've just been having so much going on. What else? And this, which I'm actually going to do a separate video on, but I keep this on my altar. This is ancestor money. So, like I said, I'll do a separate video on ancestor money coming up, probably right after I do this one. I keep that. I keep all my stones. Some of my stones are also pendants or necklaces and stuff. So I keep those on my altar just to keep the energy on them, just to keep them cleansed and keep the energy flowing on my altar. I also have, let's talk about this, my parliament paper and my feather pen. I keep this on my altar. This can also represent air. So I use this. I got this in a money drawing kit. I did have a red one, but I don't want to talk about what happened to it. But I have Parliament paper. This is paper that's used for writing spells and stuff. So of course I cleansed it first, and it stays on the altar until it's time for me to use it. Of course, candles. Like I said, cleanse them. This is a candle I got from Dollar Tree. You do not have to be fancy when it comes to candles. At the Dollar Tree around here, they only have white candles. Sometimes, occasionally, I might see a green one. But they don't burn as long as the bigger candles. I don't have a full bigger candle, but this is from one of the candles that I just burnt. And I keep these on my altar empty sometimes. Well, for a couple weeks after I'm done using them, just so I can go back and reflect on what kind of work was done. Because you can read the empty jars depending on how the candle burnt. So I'll do another video on that too. But yeah, my dragon's blood ink. Oh, where's my other ink? Oh, my money green ink that stays on my altar too. Another important thing, well, that I think is important, that I actually probably was about to forget, is my cauldron. I have a little one. You don't have to have a big one, but I think it's important to have one. You don't even have to have a real cauldron, like for a minute, and don't laugh at me, y'all. But this is what I was using. A Pringles can. I mean, it works really pretty well as a cauldron because you throw stuff in it and burn it, and it doesn't burn a Pringle can. Like, I've burnt a lot of stuff in there. But, yeah, that works. Anything. You can use a pot, cast iron, skillet, pan, whatever you have that won't burn, so you don't burn your house down. But yeah, get you a cauldron. Burn is where you can burn your incense, your ancestor money, bay leaves. I burn bay leaves. Anything that you're gonna burn, you need a cauldron for. And burning stuff is a great way to get it over to the spirit realm. So that's why you want to have a cauldron. Make sure you have a cauldron so you can burn stuff. I like playing with fire too, so. I have my oil. This is actually holy oil. I got this from church. But it's olive oil. And I keep this on my altar too. After I cleanse it, of course. And that's pretty much it. I showed y'all everything. So if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns on what to do, there's no specific setup. Oh, another thing about the ancestor altar. Like I said, you can put things on your ancestor altar. Like I have my grandmother's chain, one of her chains. And you put things on there that they like. Along with that, like I said, you put offerings on your altar. So give your ancestors some food sometimes. Like, you know, when you cook, make them a plate. Place it on your altar. If you live in a hood and roaches or mice are concerned, put it in a Tupperware dish, put the top on it, leave it there. Leave it there overnight. For the most part, I'll leave whatever I put on there, I'll leave it on there overnight. Or stuff like this, I'll leave on there for like days, weeks at a time. These were like my great grandmother's favorite candy. These are church candies. I'm a church kid, so PK. And I know she loved these, and I still love these to this day. So I bought a pack, and I put a couple on my altar for my grandmother. That's how we roll. I share. You know, and when you treat your ancestors good, they will look out for you. Trust me, I know. Like this ancestor money, when I do this video, show y'all how to get with this ancestor money, I'm telling you, they will love you. They will look out. So, I think that's it. But like I said, put some food on there, offer it up to your ancestors, light a candle, you know, say a couple words, say, to my ancestors or for my ancestors, known and unknown, this is for you. Simple. You don't gotta get all fancy or nothing like that. Like, it's based on how you feel. Like, do what you feel. But whatever you do all things with love. But, yeah, for the most part, that's it. I covered everything on my altar. So I gotta get this setting my altar back up. And once I set my altar back up, I'll do my video on my ancestor money. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, I was about to say Instagram and Facebook. This is definitely YouTube. But add me on those sites. I'll put my username in the descriptions. So y'all could ask me questions, keep up, and know when these videos are coming out, because they about to be coming out popping. Alright, y'all, I gotta get out of here. I'll holler at y'all next video. Peace. Namaste.